How are you?
Oh, just living the dream.
Working from home, which is always fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I work from home some, but not much. I it's a it's a change of pace, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been interesting. You see where our friends at Rogue are just like rocking and rolling,
Oh, of course they are.
and they're like just doing their thing. It's awesome.
I mean, everybody's like, all the gyms closed. Everybody's freaking out and needing equipment.
Well, yeah, but they're also like partially they're doing face masks and
Yeah,
things like that. For yeah,
yeah.
they're good at it.
Yeah, they're good at moving stuff, and they've got quite a bit of manufacturing capacity up there. So,
Yeah, always fun. Trying to see if I can get this going because why not? Might as well talk to people.
I, I'm always in. I get it.
I know. So, Rob, tell us what you do. What Sparkbox do first of all?
Yeah, Sparkbox is a web design and development studio headquartered out of sunny Dayton, Ohio. We've got offices in both Dayton and Pittsburgh and remote people sprinkled throughout this great country of ours.
How far you guys go? I mean, I know you got Pittsburgh and Ohio, but how far is like what's the farthest from the office? Do you have somebody?
So we have Pittsburgh, or we have Ohio, Pennsylvania, Vermont, North Carolina, Virginia, Texas, Colorado, and I think I'm missing one, but those are
Wow,
all the states we're in right now.
that's quite a few people there, buddy.
It is. We're about 50 people. Um,
Nice.
when we got our taxes back, all of our state returns were about that thick of all the different things we had to sign and send to the various states that we're located in.
Yeah, yeah. Ours is just one place, so which
Yeah,
is good.
yeah.
Just yeah,
We we
moving
did
around.
it. That's where the talent's at. Talent's all over the place. So you know,
Do you think it's going to force people to rethink sort of remote talent?
I think a lot of people who are in our industry are already rethinking it and have rethought it. I know there's some holdouts,
Yeah.
but you know, I think that some people will consider it that they haven't considered before. But some people will, that were the holdouts probably, they're already a little not behind the times, but they already made their minds up and they're probably missing their offices.
I mean, I think you're kind of like me. I like being in the office just because I like people,
Yeah,
having people around, and it's easier. But um, we've always been set up as a remote company anyway, so it's nice to have an office. It's
yeah,
great, but we are
yeah.
where we are right now.
I agree. I mean, we've been some version of a hybrid company for about 5 years now, so
Yeah.
kind of goes with the territory.
What's your favorite project you worked on lately?
There's a pretty cool project that we've done for a NBA team that is pretty fun. It's a little off the beaten path for us. It's not released yet, so I can't really talk about too many of those details. But I'm hoping that the season starts back up and we'll be able to get a chance to get that live.
Yeah, it's a cool project. That one I really really like. Like I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be awesome. We've got some
I
other
think
cool
our
things.
our
Yeah,
friend Adam has one kind of like it, right? But for a different franchise, and he had to stop it too.
yeah. It's so many of us, like, I'm a sports junkie, Bart. I grew up loving sports. It's what my brother and my dad and I talk about, and I listen to a lot of sports radio. Watch a lot of sports, and like to get a chance to work for a professional organization is just it's like a
Yeah,
childhood dream coming true, right?
yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's still in the bucket list of things we want to do. And being from Philly, we're the obvious the obvious sports teams for
yeah,
us.
yeah. Yeah, this is not a local team, but there's not too many local teams in Dayton. So, or I guess there's quite a few in Pittsburgh, but this is kind of a off the beaten path for us, regionally too. So it's kind of
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. Are you more leaning towards Pittsburgh type of sports, or is that somewhere
So
else?
I grew up being a fan of all the Detroit teams, the Lions and Tigers specifically. My dad's from Michigan, and we lived for Michigan as a little kid. So um, I, you know, my Lions are like my lifeblood, even though they're terrible and they've always been terrible. Um, but I love them, and we grew up Michigan State fans collegiately. But I went to Ohio State, so I'm Buckeye through and through at this point.
Nice, nice. Yeah, it's make it easy for me because it's all Philly,
Yeah,
all
well,
Philly sports.
so you
Yeah,
didn't pick
but
up any of that New York stuff while you were there for a couple years?
no, everybody has asked that. They're like, "Oh, you're no, come on, are you kidding me?" When you grew up in Philly and you're a sports junkie, no,
That
none of
makes
that.
sense. I just didn't know because you've kind of lived both places now. Like,
I did, and it's interesting. But no, people ask. Although New York has a weird like, you kind of like it's even crazier than what you have. Like, at least in PA, right? You got the Pittsburgh people and you got the Philly people, right? In New York, it's such a weird spread. You don't have just like a straight like Knicks, Rangers, Giants, Yankees type of thing. Everybody has their like mixed and match type of thing.
yeah,
They
interesting.
have like you have like Jets, Yankees, and the Nets, and then the Devils, and you're like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah, well, I guess to each his own. Like, our folks in Pittsburgh definitely have like it's nuts over there. They all,
It's true and true.
yeah, black and
There's
gold,
no.
baby. Like, I love how like all their teams are just black and gold.
That's the only good thing, right? It's like it all makes you don't have to go far.
No,
That's funny. That's funny. Man, it's how you doing with all this craziness going on? I
just
know we've talked about this. We just saw each other
yeah,
about 3 weeks ago.
yeah, just taking a day at a time. I think that I mean we're lucky in this industry to and our businesses the way they are. We can continue, doing the work that we do
Yeah.
as long as our clients are still allowing us to do that work. Um, and like this come up several times with our team, like wanting to know what we can do and should we be scared and like how do we best protect ourselves and all those things. And, you know, the answer is remain kind of the same as the absolute best thing I think anyone that is working in the studio space can do is continue to do excellent work, continue to deliver. Our clients will make business decisions based on a whole bunch of things that are changing and happening and what their business conditions are. But let's make sure we don't give them any reason at all to doubt our ability during this time. Let's not be a compounding reason why work stops.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. That's the biggest thing and as much as help as we can offer to every single client, right? We don't we kind of have one side and we do e-commerce. I mean, you have some mixed in there, so um, you're kind of more diversified than anything else. Um, Although it's funny because if you look at the bureau, like people are like, it's interesting that David Baker's and Blair's like advice on going vertical or very niche
Yeah.
has been you've seen that kind of conversation go back and
Mm-hmm.
forth. What is your kind of thoughts on like niching or not niching?
I think it depends. Like, there are so many people that talk about different ways to have a niche or to get real specific with things, and like I never like it's been one of our guiding lights to say that we don't really want to be in only one vertical or one technology or be pigeonholed because the thing that we want to bond all of our clients and the work that we do is the fact that the web is a really diverse, unique place
Mhm.
that allows that seamless communication and that can be accessible by everyone. And
Right.
that means that there's all kinds of different people who can believe that and need that kind of help. And I don't want to be in a situation where we're necessarily, you know, like limited that way. And some of it's a little bit business wise. Like, we definitely have some more deep expertise with some kinds of client bases and others. And we talk about those and we list those on our site. Um, but I think I want everyone to kind of feel like, hey, if you identify with the things we believe about the platforms we work on, then we can be good partners because we're people first.
Right. I I was just looking at your site really quickly. You guys like leading with we're gonna help your team sort of work through things or hire us type of thing. Is that like the main sort of in?
It's one of them. It definitely is. Like, because we identify with the people involved so heavily, like we get brought in a lot of times to change cultures, to help build teams. We write job descriptions, we interview, we mentor teams. We do all those things for our clients. And like, it's very much hey, an investment in working with Sparkbox is an investment in your team. We're going to leave you better than we found you. Um, and, if you look through some of our work, there's a whole bunch of clients on there that we've worked with in the past. And their whole goal was to not work with us. And not because they don't like us, because they wanted to build their own team and sunset with us.
Yeah.
And so if that's one of the things our clients want to do, then we put together a plan and say, hey, this is what it's going to take. This is the kind of hire you need to do. This is the kind of team. We'll work alongside of them. We'll help bring your technology and all those other things up to date and put a process in place. And someday, we'll go away and we'll support you from afar. And that's a huge part of what I think a lot of our clients want now. I think that, so many companies, if you go back 15, 20 years, saw themselves as they might be a publishing company or this company or that company. But I fundamentally believe that almost every single company that is out there now is in somewhat a software company. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that that's a fundamental shift for who they are and what they believe and the kind of people they employ and the processes they need. Like, and they need to be able to build those competencies. And those are, like, in a competitive market, are really hard people to find. And I think
Yeah, I think it's the as much as I hate this word, I just do. It's like a buzzword, but digital transformation, that's really what digital transformation should be, right?
yeah, it is. And like, I think that so many clients and just companies in general, like, I fundamentally believe there's two kinds of companies. There's talent consumers and talent producers. And if we can turn our clients into talent producers where they have systems and they can raise up their own talent and they can grow their own talent from the outside, and we teach them those skill sets, they're going to be better equipped because there is tons of people with the potential to work and do these jobs that don't have the opportunities to learn and get started in their career. And quite frankly, you'll go broke consuming other people's talent and competing with Google and Facebook and some of the other big players out there.
Yeah. Because you guys have an amazing apprenticeship program, which by the way, I think there should be more and less kids going to college. I mean, that's a weird way of thinking about it.
Yeah, we've been doing apprenticeships for 10 years now. We've had a lot of success with it. Um, it's one of my favorite things that we do because it's that whole talent production. Like, about a quarter of our team have been through our apprenticeship at this point.
Hmm.
Um, Plus, I think it's pretty cool that it's, a great risk mitigation. Like, you can't fake your way through 6 months of apprenticeship. We know who you are at the end of it.
No, you
Um,
definitely can't.
and the way we view that is like, our goal is to take people from wherever they're starting from to be really, really well qualified beginners at the end.
Yeah.
We hire about half of them. We've placed some at clients. We've helped others find jobs. And I think it's just a really cool impact we can have on, in some ways, just Dayton. Like, we require all those people at this point to move to Dayton, and a lot of them stay.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you definitely have a little bit more better market, with that kind of thing. Like in Philly, obviously we have a giant, huge company smack middle of the city.
Yeah.
besides like other big ginormous e-commerce things or pharma or anything else, that beautiful Comcast, two ginormous Comcast buildings are right smack in the middle, and those guys suck up just about everybody.
Yeah. And and I think that like that would still work for an apprenticeship kind of thing could work in Philly. It might look different.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just what I'm saying is like you have this like you can bring that and they can stay there, and it's it's a different feel of it, right?
Yeah, it totally is. And we've had other ones that have been here for the season for us and then moved on to, other big cities or whatever. Like Dayton's kind of uniquely positioned because we're like 45 minutes from downtown Cincinnati and an hour from downtown Columbus. And there's some big old companies there that suck up a lot of, that consume a lot of talent.
Columbus, yes, absolutely in Columbus.
Yeah.
We're trying to rep too,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah, it's definitely. I didn't know you were that close to Cincinnati. I guess I never looked where you guys are actually.
Yeah. Yeah. We're real close. We're, like I said, 45 minutes from downtown Cincinnati. There was talk that they were combining the Cincinnati Dayton census area into one, super area.
Hmm.
Um, but we're 2 hours from maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes from downtown Indianapolis. There's quite a bit of big city, within pretty quick driving distance.
Yeah, so that's you were smack in the middle of it. That's kind of nice,
Yeah,
and
we're
in the middle of nowhere at the same time.
a little bit. I mean, we're 4 hours from Pittsburgh. I get to Pittsburgh in 4 hours. I get to Pittsburgh quicker than you can.
That's true. Yeah, Pittsburgh's a hike for me.
Yeah,
I mean, Harrisburg is only an hour, but Pittsburgh's a hike for me. Well, it's just driving through the whole state.
yeah. That's a long state. That going that way.
It's pretty wide.
Yeah.
I have driven it. I've driven from Philly to Michigan at some point. Oh no,
Yeah.
actually to Detroit. That was a bit of a hike.
Yeah. I did Dayton to Philly last year.
Well, you drive everywhere, so there's
I do drive everywhere. It's,
that.
it's the Midwest in me. Like we get in our cars and if it's less than 10 hours, that's easy.
Like I say, flight back. I'm glad I decided to fly that at that 6 a.m. flight because it was full the night before. We had 15 people on it flying. It was interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It was a hell of a thing. But I got to experience, Charlestown for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So
Charleston's one of my favorite places. It's become one of the places we vacation quite a bit. It's actually like one of the closest beaches to Dayton.
which is strange. I would be like, oh no, Jersey Shore is closer, but I guess not. It's just the way you're driving across.
It's
It's
just the way
not.
the U.S. kind of
Yeah, yep,
cuts in, like right
yep.
there. Like you can hit those South
Because you
Carolina
have to
beaches are
like
it.
this like weird, yeah. You have to go like that weird around. You have to go through Philly to go there.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. That's funny. Where do you just stay in that place in Wild Dunes or no?
We
When you
stay on
vacation
Isle
down
of
there?
Palm usually, and we rent a house on Isle of Palm when we go on
Cool.
vacation there. Um,
That's
Usually
awesome.
not inside. I've only ever been to Wild Dunes a couple times, and it's all with events. But
Yeah, because last time we were at the event, we were at the summit there one
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Um,
But that
I
road
like
you
it.
kind of take in Palm, whatever, that kind of
Yep.
goes along the beach. We usually get houses on one side or the other.
Yeah, one of my good friends actually lives on the island itself. Just down a little farther, the like sort of little other side.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and they've been there forever, so they live like a block away from the beach.
that sounds nice to me.
Some of these houses are pretty pricey on that.
They are.
Ooh.
Um, Maybe someday, Bart.
Well, I mean, I am literally right now a block away from the beach, so or 2 blocks away from.
No,
I know,
that's
I know,
that's good.
I know. You hate me.
I don't hate you. I couldn't hate you, Bart.
It's where we are. Anyway, I think that's why I'm out of questions now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Don't hang up. Thanks, Rob.